Welcome to the High-Tech Investments News Report for Week 42. The news report covers some of the many investments projects High-Tech Investments is currently involved in so you can follow our progress. We hope you will enjoy this news feed and look forward to your comments and remarks.
Hi, Bo here, and welcome back to this week's news report, where once again we're going to have a look at what happened in the past week. There is definitely some ups and downs in here. We're going to have a look at all of it, especially one of the items that we want to discuss also again with you this week is obviously the bill trader. So this is still very much under test, and basically we're going to have a look at the portfolio and the profits that we have made so far. We have actually run this on multiple different time frames. So it's not as what you have seen on our prior EAs, all running on 15 minutes or 5 minutes. No, these ones have varied basically from 15, 30 minutes all the way up to individual day. And everything is combined in the portfolio you're going to see here today. Now, we're also going to go through Expert Forex as usual. Alex has some training courses that is coming out that you might benefit from. We're going to have a closer look at that and obviously what else he has basically raised in the past week. Last but not least, we also had Columbus Day. So this was last Monday, and that also had an effect on all our EAs, all our different systems that we had in here, exactly what happened and how much that had an effect. Well, you're just going to have to watch this video all the way to the end to see exactly what was the impact overall. But let's start off as usual with Yieldnodes. Now, you might not be surprised when you figure out here that nothing has happened to Yieldnodes. There's no news, there's no updates basically from last week in here. As we log in again to the Yieldnodes platform, there is not a real change. The only change, if you go to the audit coin reserves in here, you end up on this particular site and you can actually see the Yieldnodes, the total coins owned by the Yieldnodes in here and the participators. And one of the things the master nodes running, the amount of them is actually going up in here for the staking balance. So if you want to see if anything is status quo or not, well, certainly there is a development. There's about 5 or 6 extra master nodes running from this particular week here on the PNY and something similar, a bit more on the SAP in here. So definitely there is a development, but obviously again, it all depends on the coin value. And that one is the next one we're going to have a closer look at, which doesn't look so good. We are pretty much in the same level as we have been for many, many weeks before. Again, the red circle is where we left it last week. And as you can see, we are just slightly better, but still we are in the area of about 7 zeros and a 3 in here. And that is pretty much the lowest value that we have seen the SAP coin been at for a very, very long time. It has been hovering somewhere around 3 or 4 mark, but definitely it doesn't look like it's picking up anytime soon. Same thing also actually goes for our SAP staking this particular week in here. You'll notice that the last time we actually got anything in was on the 3rd of October. So this is now quite a few weeks ago. We only have it here for one time, so in October. So that is definitely the lowest thing. Let's hope it at least comes up and joins February, March, and April. But that is not the best development. So that means about 0%, 0 SAPs for the entire week. And the same thing actually also goes for the PNY. Last time we got anything in is a bit more recent. So that's on the 10th of October in here. And again, October looks to be a very low month at the moment here together with May. So that was the lowest ones with only 2 entries for that particular month. So let's see if we can't pick this one up a bit. But overall for the week, we are again at 0% and 0 PNY. So obviously not the best weeks for our staking. If we have a closer look at Bitcoin versus USDT, that has been on the rise all through the week. Last time on the 14th here, where again we have the red circle, we left it at around 64,000. Since then, it has slowly but surely gone up. And at the moment, as we're shooting this particular video here, we're at 68,915. So very good development for the people currently holding Bitcoin. Now, Trillant news. In the past couple of weeks, we have actually highlighted what is happening and the changes in here. So we're not going to cover it too much other than the last deadline now to basically transfer over to a different platform with a new coin. we have until end of October here, so the 30th of October. That is again what the Trillant team is coming out with. You have to make sure that you have a valid KYC, you complete all the details in here, and also you have to pay the network migration fee, which is about $49 in here. Or if you are not really sure what is actually going on with it at the moment, we suggest the individual videos that we also have in the video description below. Go and have a look, see exactly what happens, and then go and have a look at the terms and conditions to see if this is actually something you want to continue with. In the meantime, let's have a look at coinstore.com just to see where the tree coin is. Obviously, that one is going to be exchanged at the end of the month, as they have previously mentioned. So at the moment, we left it last week at 0.40178. Since then, we had a bit of a spike and very quickly a return. Again, a flat curve all the way over to point and then 40200. So obviously, again, not much happening on this particular one here either, then a slight little hiccup bump on the road. Now, Trade Explorer, when we have a look at that for week 42, we have $144 or 1.4%. That's actually quite low because if you remember and saw last week's news report, we were all the way up to 2,000. That was a big drawdown and then a big cash in afterwards, as this particular EA always does. And if we have a closer look at the link itself, so this is still on the copy link service on link 146C in here, you can see the big bump that we had up here last time, and we have one also here, some smaller ones in there. So these are the ones when we have a bit of a drawdown, it comes back, and then the cash is in big time. Equity started off back then with a $10,000 account. It's up at 41,464. Floating profit and loss at the moment is very low at -64. So the close profit at more than 27,000, very, very nicely. Plenty of margins, of course, because we are still running this as it was a $10,000 account due to the coupling service in here. Total returns 271%. Monthly returns 7.7 and weekly returns 1.8, which is obviously again a bit off because normally when you have a $48,000 account, you would basically go and either triple or quadruple in here the lot sizing in order to continue to make very good money. But this lot size is actually locked in, so everybody can always join the coupling service at any given time. History is 525 days. And we are still running the 10 pair in here. So if we have a closer look at it, we can see that this particular week, 144.99, and last week was a massive $2,086. 144, you can see that's quite low. We have to go all the way back to June in order to see anything lower. But again, also, as I mentioned here, with Columbus Day, that was actually a holiday in the US, and that also meant that the entire market here was very, very slow off the bat. So basically on Monday, so everything was going extremely slow. And this week has been slightly down also on profit overall, similar to what you can see here. If we have a look at the Wave Liberator for week 42, also here you can see, if you have a look at just the total amount, you'll see that this is actually quite low. Even people would normally link in and saying, okay, Euro USD, $83. On a $1,000 account would actually have made you 8.3%, and that is definitely quite high. But this is quite low compared to what we normally see from the Wave Liberator. Aussie CAD also in here with $67 or 6.7%. Euro Great British Pounds, $49, 4.9%. And then Aussie Swiss francs, $45, 4.5%. And then US Japanese, which is normally fluctuating a bit, all the way down in the bottom of the top 5 with $39 or 3.9%, and then total of $283 or 5.7% for the best of the top 5 in here for that particular week. And when we have a look at the portfolio, you can see it continues to do very nice, very smooth, apart from, again, the month of August in here. That was a bit of a IG demo account mess, so has basically ruined the very nice little line in here. But the balances of the 20 EAs that we currently have running is up to 252. It has a floating profit or loss of only minus 5,337, so that's extremely good. Total return 17%. And again, this is because we are running these on $10,000 accounts. So if you want to transfer that into $1,000 accounts and trade it like that, you would have made 12% on average and 3% on weekly returns. Trade wins are good, 67.3%. And trades per day 14, with a history now of 429 days, so plenty of days in here. And if you go to our website, you can find all the individual links also here, and most of them are on the copy link service. You can go and have a look and see those top 5s in here, if that is actually something you want to trade with, or you want to go with something a bit smaller and maybe not fluctuating as much. Now, if we have a look at this week, overall, the portfolio made $597, so that is below what we had last week with $620. And you can see we have to go all the way back. I think also here in August, these are the ones that are a bit misconstrued. So most probably all the way back to July is last time when we had such a low profit in here. But it is going in the right direction, as you can see, up, up, and up. Something similar also has happened, of course, with the RSI Liberator, because Columbus Day has obviously affected all trading. We also had less trading days in here overall. Obviously, there is 5, but when the US market is not chipping in, then definitely things are slowing down dramatically. Aussie Swiss franc came in at only $68, or 6.8%. So again, very similar, and look how tight it is on the next levels. Euro, Great British Pounds, $48, 4.8%. Aussie New Zealand, $47, 4.7%. Great British Pounds CAD, $46, 4.6%. And then Great British Pounds Swiss francs, $45, 4.5%. Also here overall, very low profits for this particular week. $255 for the top 5, or 5.1%. It is obviously very nice that it continues to tick over, and you can also see that on the graph, even though here IG again made a bit of a mess with the month of August, so it ended up quite flat, but as you can see, it's moving again. Balance overall for the 22 $10,000 accounts, 236,607. And equity at 230, so that means at the moment we are in plus, and close profit is more than 14,500, so that's good. And then total returns 4.3, monthly returns 1%, and weekly returns 0.2. Again, some of these numbers here, because this hasn't been running for as long, you can see 198 days. So the profit actually dropped for the month of August when IG made a bit of a mess of it, but overall still okay. 20 trades per day. And if we have a closer look at the website, you'll notice that I also mentioned here that on the copy link service, we now have some of the RSI links in here that you have asked for. There will obviously be more. The pace of it basically depends on Alex and Expert Forex, how to get them in. But as you'll see, Aussie USD, Euro, Great British Pounds, USD, USD CAD. You have USD Japanese that has also been adjusted, so you can actually work with those. Aussie CAD, all of them look extremely well. And if we have again a closer look at it, you'll see that the direction is definitely upwards. And overall, that portfolio has made $539, so actually better than last week here. But compared to the rest of the month of September, definitely still down. And I mentioned the reason a few times here now. Now you can obviously find a lot more details on the Wave Liberator, which is the one we have tested for a very long time now. RSI is just as stable as the other one. And then that particular Wave Liberator, that's where we have our PAMM account at the moment. And at some point, I guess we will try and expand on this again. So if we have a look at it to see the PAMM account, how it has gone, the 2 previous setbacks we had here with a lot of money actually taken out. We had that also in the past couple of weeks, which is why you see last week here we were at a minus, which is again when they take the profit out. This week we didn't have too much profit taken out, so this is 2,697. So that is at a good level. But again, as I mentioned before, when you are taking a bit of money out, and again, here withdrawal was 1,150. then you're also taking the profits out. It depends on when they actually came in, if they were in from the beginning or they came in later. It all depends on how much profit is actually being taken out at the same time. But we for sure understand here that you also want to basically secure your investments and try and get your initial capital back. Now, if we have a look also at the all the PAMM investment accounts, compare them to what we have in here. Overall, it has gone a bit down, and this is also because people have taken money out from some of the other accounts, and definitely a lot from ours, but we have also made some good gains overall. 578,000 is what is there. Gains is 150, and you can see in here also that we have actually more than half of the gains. Gains on average is 26%. We are up by 30.9. And then the drawdown, we also have a bit more on the drawdown side at the moment, unfortunately, but hopefully that will turn around. Drawdown also on the percentage-wise is a bit above the average, but we're also producing a lot more gains at the end of the day. But there's some that is slightly higher than what we have in here. Overall, this didn't change too much because it was a bit of a slow trading week. But if we have a look and compare it with last week, again, we've seen that the current balance has gone up. Also, the gains has gone up here. So gains was 30% last week, even after people were taking the money out. But everything else seems to be pretty much flat and working as it should be for now. Now, obviously, you can go on our website and find more details on the Trade Explorer, even the money tree that we used to cover on this particular news report. And the Lucky Trader we also have. We have still a couple of accounts that we are showing you. So the Lucky Trader for week 42 on the top 5 EAs is Euro, Great British Pounds, $339. It's really taking over nicely every single week, 3.4%. New Zealand USD, $121, 1.2%, and then Euro USD, $68, 0.7%, and Euro Swiss francs is still very much on the low side, only $12 or 0.1%. Overall, those top 4 in here made $540 or 1.4%. So obviously still very good overall and checking in every single week. If we have a look at the portfolio here also, you can see that the balance here is 50,000 and floating profit and loss has actually gone up. So it's a bit of a drawdown of minus 11,636. Closed profits was 13,394. Total returns 3.1, monthly returns 5%, and weekly returns 1.2. And again, with a high trade win of 64.9% and a history of 125 days. So also here, it's gone quite well. And again, this particular flat part here has something to do also with the IG demo accounts in here, making a mess of things. Overall, 540, as I mentioned before, which is slightly better than last week. So even though trading was slower and lower, then it still managed actually to cash in. So some of them are doing better than others. Now, the bell trading robots, we over the past couple of weeks have mentioned to you that there's a user testing phase. Now, that particular testing phase has just stopped as of today. So that now means that we're going to have a closer look just to see the portfolio we have in here. And if we have a look at it, so in the beginning, we have 8 accounts. Those are the very low fluctuating accounts in here. You can actually see some of them up here: Aussie CAD, Aussie USD, Euro CAD, Euro, Great British Pounds, Euro USD, New Zealand CAD. So, and then there's actually 2 more in here, but they never really cashed in for some reason, and we're obviously checking on that. But in the beginning, we were simply testing it for the first about 10 days in here. So we only have trading from around 10th of October and forward. So that just means for a bit of a week where we had, again, as I mentioned, the slow parts. But if you have a look at the monthly returns, it actually calculated 7.3, even though it would normally also calculate this particular flat line in here. Weekly returns 1.7, and look at the trade wins, we're up at 70%, so extremely good with trades per day, about 32.6, and a history of only 18 days. But that is including the beginning where we were doing back testing everything else on these particular accounts. That is the reason why it's pretty much flat in here. So it has been doing quite well. Obviously, this is still early days testing. First, it was the basically strategy tester that we're using. And then later on, we were doing live testing here on demo accounts. You can see that as we are switching them on and trying to understand the EAs better, the profit is also coming in despite the slow week. So $2,255 compared to $1,428. Definitely going in the right direction, and you will see a lot more of this particular part. But let's go on to Alex, an expert Forex, where he's actually has a free, simple and easy Forex course that he's promoting, showing you again how this particular one is done, how you get started. So the first baby steps into trading, definitely worth having a look at. And once you're done with that, we might even suggest you that you go and have a look at the 1 million trading Forex. So Alex again shares out of his vast history as more than 20 years as a trader. And in this particular video in here also, he actually mentions how you can get to 1 million, starting off in small little steps, adding into your trading accounts. So it is something that is definitely a possibility. So if you are playing it smart, both of the video links will be in the video description below as usual. So this is what we had for you in this week's news report. As you can see, despite Columbus Day, despite the slowdown in trading, we are still making good profits on all our EAs. They are extremely stable, as you can see. We are very, very happy already with the Liberator range version. And now also we have the Bell Trader. So even though the trading has just finished as we are shooting this particular video here, it would be time to go out and buy it instead and basically start testing it for yourself also. First, of course, as always, go on demo accounts. Later on, you could put money aside for the best accounts that are actually working for you. Now, obviously, we're also going to do a lot more videos on that in the future. We're also going to set up a website for it because we are quite excited about the entry and the way it actually operates. But there is still so much to learn about each and every one of these EAs. So there's always something new coming out, something to consider in the future. And that's why you shouldn't be missing these particular videos either. So until next week, hope to see you around. Bye-bye.
I hope you enjoyed our news report. So please don't forget to like and add your comment below, as we would love to get your feedback. But before you go, make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to keep the notification bell turned on. That way, you will never miss any of our future videos. We hope to see you back on this channel very soon.